Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nicole Dongo, and today I'm going to talk about the first pandemic of all, the 1918 influenza, also known as the Spanish flu. It was caused by the H1N1 virus with avian origin. It rapidly spread all over the world, so the epidemic became a pandemic. It infected 1/3 of the world's whole population and killed between 50 and 100 million of people. The pandemic influenza struck in three waves. The first one was in the early spring of 1918. The second one, which was the most deadliest one, started on August 1918 until the end of that year. The third one started on the year 1919. The mortality rate was between 10% and 20%. The low estimate would be that it killed more people than World War I, and the higher estimate would be it killed more people than both wars combined. These circumstances encouraged its spread. People were constantly in the move because of the war, not only troops but refugees and displaced persons. There was a lot of hunger, which meant that people weren't getting the nutritional values they needed to create a strong immune system. If we compare the 5 flus we had in all history, none of them killed more than 4 million of people, while the influenza of 1918 killed more than 15 million of people. Although it's a mystery where it all began, it's known as the Spanish flu. Why? Because at the time, Spanish was neutral in war, so the press wasn't controlled. They were the only ones in Europe sharing information about the disease that was going on, so it got commonly known as the Spanish flu, although it didn't had any to do with Spain. Believe it or not, the pandemic also had very positive outcomes for the world. First of all, the healthcare systems were really improved. Actually, they were created after the damage caused by the first pandemic. Russia was the first country to open a public healthcare, and a lot of European countries followed after. Furthermore, it was a major outcome for women's rights. That year, they were allowed to work. Also, in the United States, on the 1920s, they allowed women to vote. So that actually was also a very positive outcome for women's rights. It also highlighted how important it was to cooperate internationally. In 1923, the League of Nations opened the Health Organization, which was led by doctors in order to prevent and advance in medicine for future pandemics. On the other hand, there is the lost generation, a term that is used for the people that lived in the early 20s. These people lived with scars, so it's been proven they are more propense to earn a lower wage or end in prison than any contemporary to their age. To conclude, the 1918 influenza killed between 10% and 20% of our population, but it was probably because we were in advancing medicine and also because we were recovering from war. It also had a lot of positive incomes. 1, it promoted healthcare systems. 2, it promoted gender equality. And 3, it promoted international cooperations. And actually, I think that the third one is the most important of all, because now more than ever, we need to start being more compassionate with one another. Thank you, and I hope you like it.